Hey, what's up guys, Akshay here, back again with a brand new video, and this is my full review of the Gionee S Plus. Now before beginning with the actual review itself, I just want you guys to know that this phone is also known as the Blu Vivo XL in some countries. The phone is pretty much exactly the same except for its name, and with that being out of the way, let's get started with the review itself. Now starting off with the design of the smartphone, the S Plus immediately catches your attention. It has a glossy plastic pattern back and it comes in three different colors: a gold variant, a silver variant and a blue variant, which I have right here. Now the phone is very lightweight and very comfortable to hold and use, even though it has a 5.5-inch display. And just an FYI, the back panel of the phone is a big scratch and fingerprint magnet, and you'll want to put a case on it. Now just to give you guys a physical overview of the phone itself, the power button and the volume rockers are on the right side of the device and are rather tactile. You have your headphone jack on the top and your USB Type-C port on the bottom, and I'm really glad that Gionee finally made the switch from micro USB. On the front you have your sensors, your headpiece and your 5-megapixel front-facing shooter, and a very bright notification LED with the same switched capacitive navigation controls on the bottom like we saw on the Gionee E-Life S7. Now talking about the front of the device, on the front we have a 5.5-inch 720p AMOLED display with a pixel density of 267, and the display is really contrasty and vibrant and is perfectly visible outdoors, but after a while you do kinda wish the phone had a better looking resolution, especially after you're staring at the screen for a while. Now powering it all, the Gionee S Plus comes with an octa-core MediaTek MT6753 chipset clocked at 1.3 GHz and is bundled with a Mali T720 GPU and 3 GB of RAM. Now the performance of the phone was pretty smooth. It handled all the tasks and games and multitasking pretty well and encountered very rare performance issues. Now the phone only comes with 16 GB of internal storage, but you can easily expand that up to 128 GB using a micro SD card, and you also have dual SIM capabilities and 4G LTE support. Now on the back of the phone you have a 13-megapixel shooter and an LED flash, some Gionee back branding and a speaker. Now the playback from the speaker was rather decent and it got really distorted at high volumes. Now to keep the phone running, the phone actually has a 3150 mAh battery, and the battery on this thing has been very good for me. It easily lasted me throughout a day and standby was very impressive, and the low resolution of the display only helps. Oh, and the battery is removable, so you can always carry around an extra one if you need to. Now talking about the camera on the Gionee S Plus, it's meh. It is capable of shooting 1080p video and can provide you with rather decent pictures in bright lighting with some good amount of detail. However, the camera does fall short as soon as you start shooting in low lighting, and like always the camera application in Amigo UI has tons of different modes, but I usually use the tried and tested auto mode and it worked fine for the most part. Now the phone actually runs on Android 5.1 Lollipop out of the box with Amigo UI 3.1 running on top of it, and the Amigo UI definitely feels a bit more polished since the last time I used it, and it comes with the same bunch of software features that we saw on the S7, and I already have a video about that, and if you want to check that out you can do that by clicking the card on screen right now. Although if running the latest versions of Android is important to you, you might want to look elsewhere because there's no current word when Marshmallow will be released for this phone. I did get an update a couple of days back, but I'm still on the same version of Android. Now with that being said and everything considered, this phone, the Gionee S Plus in India, costs a whopping 17,000 bucks or $250 US, which is just way too much bucks for the bang that this phone provides in my opinion. However, if you live in the US where it costs around $150 or even $100 at points, this is definitely one of the phones that you might want to look at. So that's been it. That was my full review of the Gionee S Plus or the Blu Vivo XL. If you're still watching till this point of the video, don't forget to hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel. Also don't forget to follow me on my social media, my Snapchat, my Twitter. That's been it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later in the next one. Live long and prosper.